we would like to present about the Islamic legal maxims of the applications of Ummuri bil Masaqudiha in Islamic finance, banking and economic. First part is introductions. Legal maxims are the general rule that applies to all the particular area of the Islamic jurisprudence, such as in the division matter, civil transactions, contract, litigations, and court proceeding. Next is, according to the modern perspective, Islamic transactions are financial market, operations and service that comply with the Sharia compliance with Islamic ethics and Islamic principle. Furthermore, Islamic transactions are permissible in Islam unless there are evidence of prohibited elements involved in the such of activities. In this study, it will cover about the Islamic legal maxim of the applications Ummuri bil Masaqudiha in Islamic finance, banking and economic. It will describe about the something according to their attentions. That's all. I would like to pass the next presenter.
Today, I want to explain about the identification of the issues. Among the issues identified in the Qawaid Ummuri of Masaqudiha in Islamic banking, finance and economic are the kafala issues. Kafala is a guarantee of the responsibility of the right of other or of a person who has a specific responsibility to take action or to obtain compensation to the rightful person. Overall, it means the willingness of one guarantor to be responsible to another to debtor. Okey, kafala dalam bahasa Melayu adalah jaminan tanggungjawab hak orang lain atau orang yang mempunyai tanggungjawab khusus untuk mengambil tindakan atau mendapatkan pampasan kepada orang yang berhak. Secara keseluruhannya bermaksud kesediaan atau satu penjamin untuk bertanggungjawab terhadap yang lain, yang ini penghutang. There are three problems in kafala. First, the absolution of guarantee debtors. Second, the multiple guarantors, and the last one, the resources and recovery from the principal debtor.
So one of the issues that identified in Qawaid Ummuri bil Masaqudiha is compensation. So what is compensation? So compensation is defined as any claim for compensation arising from actual loss suffered by the financier due to the delayed payment of financing or debt amount by the customers. So any debtors who delays their debt payment or settlement will be imposed with the penalty, or frequently known as the interest. In the Islamic law, the interest-based penalty is totally prohibited in Islam, which is known as it is riba. So the contemporary Muslim scholars have come up with resolution to overcome this issue, since the Muslim are living in the conventionally economic and financial framework. The Islamic Financial Service Act introduced the compensation on late payment of takaful benefits for the takaful industry. The worldwide jurists have viewed the permissibility to impose that compensation as the bank income or penalty that will be channeled to charitable purpose.
An analysis about kafala issue. First of all, Ummuri bil Masaqudiha means everything whether an act, behavior or transaction is based on intention. Kafala means any kind of guarantee given by a guarantor to a third party on the obligation to be fulfilled by the insurer or guarantor. In Islam, kafala is a contract that helps an individual who is unable to fulfill their obligations, such as debt, without any assistance. In Islamic banking system, the bank will be responsible for settling debts on behalf of its customer in the event that their customer fail to meet their debt repayment obligations. The issue of kafala in the banking system is the customer must have paid a certain amount to get the bank guarantee. This is because the bank cannot bear all risks to ensure the customers fulfills their responsibilities. Although Earlier scholars agreed that the concept of kafala could not be charged. However, there are some contemporary scholars who require payment for securities. This is supported by current issue and requirements in the event of difficulty obtaining a voluntary guarantee for another party.
Conventional systems have been using the concept of penalty for a long time ago. The old lawmaker forbade the concept of penalties because he suspected transaction based on Islamic debt because he was involved in the element riba. The study was conducted to assess the ability and how the penalty concept is applied in the Islamic banking system. The result showed the compensation, Qawaid, and the penalty or Roma may be implemented as a solution to the issue of deferred payment. The penalty imposed are based on study of various main references, namely Al-Quran, As-Sunnah, Qiyas, and the principle of Qawaid fiqhiyah in a support of. In ensuring that the banking system functioning in a timely manner, it is important to ensure that management is running smoothly and that is able to compete with the conventional banking based on Al-Quran and As-Sunnah.
Solution. So the person claiming under the guarantee has the option of claiming either against the guarantor or against the principal debtor. The creditor may claim first from the debtor and then from the guarantor or both from stimulationers. Nevertheless, the guarantor also has the right to include in the contract of the specific condition that the creditor can claim his right from the guarantor only if the debtor failed to fulfill their obligation. From a Sharia point of view, by releasing the principal debtor from his debt to the surety, the nature of the kafala contract is changed and will be treated as a transfer of a debt that is hawala instead. So the next is the fair principle of contribution is that if the one of the multiple guarantors pay the whole debtor or even more than his proportion, he is entitled to recover it from his co-guarantor whether the obligation was joint or joint several. So next is if the person requests another to guarantee a debt which he owes to some third person and such person agrees and pay the debt and wishes to exercise his right of recourse against the debtor, he may do so in respect to what he has guaranteed and not what he has paid. However, if he has paid a portion of the debt as a result of the settlement with the creditor, he has a right of recourse in respect to that amount only and not to the whole debt. This is show that in the practice of kafala, the general rules should be that the guarantor has the right to demand compensation from the debtor to the tune of what they have paid to the creditor.
One of the solutions that have been identified in Qawaid al-Ummuri bi Masaqudiha in Islamic banking and finance is the permissibility of compensation and penalty or by imposing an unilateral promise on customers in case they have breached the contract by making early settlement within the lock-in period. The rest or delay payment and early settlement after the lock-in period, as discussed, will on the other hand apply as what has been resolved. It is hoped that the solution will provide an alternative to the market, in particular in Islamic financial institutions, on what should be done in order to overcome especially the early settlement within the lock-in period.
We can sum that in Qawaid al-Ummuri bi Masaqudiha, in Islamic banking, finance and economics have two issues, which is kafalah and compensation. Okay, kafalah arise an issue because the concept is based on welfare, but there is a cost for the guarantor. Okay, and the compensation arise an issue because classical Muslim jurists prohibit such penalties being imposed in any Islamic debt-related transaction because it involves usury. However, this issue already have an alternative or solution to resolve any issues that arise.
Okay, method of Qawaid al-Ummuri Maqasidiha is one of the important fiqh method that evolving in variety of problems that raised by jurisprudence students. It is important to reduce all the issues that may affect the development of Islamic banking, finance and economic industries. Therefore, a lot of discussion with reference to the method al-Ummuri Maqasidiha of need to be done to settle all the problems. In this case, detailed research is a very important thing, and responsible people need to play an important role for the success of industries. The regulator, industrial player and Sharia advisor should play the role to come up with the modified the existing regulation or do a new regulation to settle the current issues in Islamic banking, finance and economics. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.